Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Grow with Kit. My name's Kit, and today I'm making these two planters here. So I'm going to make these for the garden, just to grow flowers in, but you can also use these for growing vegetables or whatever you really fancy growing in them. So it's a really simple process to build one of these. So I will explain to you the whole process from start to finish, including painting and lining your planters. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Get back to you in a sec and we'll make a start. Okay, so let's make a start. So I've got everything I need here. Hopefully you can hear me. It's a bit windy today. So like I said, this is going to be the most simple planter I can make. Simple, fast, but it should be effective. So I've got the wood here. These are old slats from an old bunk bed. And I've got a couple more bits of wood here which are from an old wardrobe or something. But I'll show you what they're for later. So I'm going to be using all hand tools to make it as simple as possible. So I've just got a saw, hammer, nails, some sandpaper just to smooth off the rough edges. And I've got a staple gun here, pen, tape measure, extra staples, and a pair of scissors. I'll show you what all this is for later. So, like I said, this is going to be the most simple planter that I can possibly make. Obviously, I can make it better. I can make it look better, and you can make it more detailed and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you how easy it can be. So, this planter, I'm pretty confident that anyone should be able to build this. So, I'll show you what I'm up to, and we'll get these built. So, this is everything I'm going to need today for these planters. Got the wood there. As I go along, I'll show you what everything's for, but you can probably figure it out for yourself. So I'm going to move all this out of the way because at the moment all we need is the wood and the saw and the hammer and nails. Okay, so we've got our pieces of wood here, and I worked out that I only need 7 of these planks to make this planter. So I'll show you what sort of design we're going to do. So like I said, these are all bunk bed slats from the bottom of a bunk bed. So they've got they're in a kid's room, so they've got some scribbling on them and drawings on them, but I'm gonna paint them black anyway, so we're not gonna bother trying to get them off. So what I'm gonna do is do this too wide, too high. It's the simplest way. So I'll place 2 down. That'll be the bottom, and then we'll put the sides on. So I'm gonna do it too high, just to give you a rough idea of what sort of design I'm thinking of. Simple as you can get it. So this is the sort of thing we're thinking of, but we don't need to worry about the top bit for now. So we've got this here, and I've got 7, so I've got 2 for the bottom, 2 for each side, so that's 6, and then the last one is for the ends here. I'm not sure if you can see me. Yeah, you should be able to see if I push this forward a little bit. So basically, you've got your planks like so, and we'll cut these to go on the ends. So we need to measure the gap between there and cut out 4 pieces of wood. So I'll get that done. That's the only cutting that we'll be doing other than the supports, but I'll show you them when we get there. Okay, so we've got our 4 pieces of wood cut. They're more or less the same. They don't have to be exact. Don't worry if they're not exactly the same. Mine are more or less because I've had a bit of experience with this saw. Anyway, so now what we're going to do is real quickly just get rid of any of these spiky up bits that you get when you're sawing. And that bit there. We'll sand it over a bit better when we're finished, but we're just getting rid of these bits just because they tend to get in the way sometimes. Okay, so we've got all our wood. We've got these 4 pieces cut. So now what we're going to do is place these 2 together. This one here is the end piece that we just cut. So all I'm going to do is nail 2 nails through there and 2 nails through that piece to there and there. So I'll do this side and then I'm going to do the other side. So we're just using these 2-inch nails. These are like them grippy nails. Drop that one on the floor. So you might find it easier to start the nail off on the table first, rather than trying to do it where it's going to go. So if you just get it started, you can do all 4 if you want. It makes it a bit easier. And then we'll just knock that in there, get that bit assembled. Okay, so we've got that side in. So we'll just flip it around. It's easier if you butt it up against a wall or something, hitting it, because it's pushing it that way. But obviously for the video, I'm not doing that, so it's a bit awkward and a bit of an awkward angle. You can clamp it down and stuff as well, but you don't need to do all that. You can just make it as simple as you can. That's what I'm doing now. So I'm showing you how to do it simple without any other extra tools or anything. So I'll just flip this around. I'll do the other side. Then we'll start assembling the rest of it. So exactly the same thing again. Just line it up with that bit. Doesn't have to be exact. We're not going for perfect woodwork. So we just line it up. Knock your nails in. These nails are a bit awkward to use because they're quite bendy. Every now and then just readjust it until the nail bites into the other piece of wood. Watch your fingers. That's what that is on my thumb there. That's where I've bashed it before and it's messed up the nail bed. Someone did put a comment on a little while ago about my thumb. Anyway, so I've got the one in there. I'll get the rest done. Set up time that skin. And then I'll get back to you. Okay, so we've got that bit built so far. So far we've done this half here. So the next half should be a bit easier now that everything's in place, and it'll hold it together more easy. Gets easier as you go along. So we just place the next piece of the bottom in. Might be a bit of a tight squeeze. Depends on what wood you're using. But if you cut them more or less the same, you should be alright. So these are all slats from old bunk beds. So they're all more or less exactly the same length, but not quite. So even though they're probably cut by a machine, There are slight differences, so sometimes you may have to force it or take a sliver off here and there, but luckily I don't have to. So that's the first bit in, and like I said, I'm not going for exact or anything, so I'm just using the bench to level everything off, make sure it's all flat, more or less, and then I'll get the rest of this nailed up, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the next layer. So I'm going to do this 2 planks high. Okay, so that's the whole bottom section secure. So I've just put 8 nails in that end and 8 in the other end. I will put a couple in along here just to hold this bottom bit in, but it's pretty secure. I'll just put a few in because it's going to be holding quite a lot of soil. So I will do that later, but that's that bit done. So next thing I could do is the next layer. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So I've got a piece of wood here. This is a bit of 2x2 from an old wardrobe or something. Reclaimed wood. I haven't bought any of this wood. So all I'm going to do is put a piece there, obviously cut it to size, to hold the next layer on. So I'll set the camera up and I'll show you what I'm up to. So we've got to do the next level now, the next layer of this planter. So as you can see, if we did what we did with the bottom for the next level, it will be a separate piece. So that's no good. So we're going to use this piece of wood here. It doesn't have to be quite this thick, but this is what I've got. So this is all reclaimed timber. So essentially what we're going to do is use this bit of wood here to secure the top and bottom level together. So we'll nail as usual into here. Then I'll go around and put 2 more on each piece into this support beam. Obviously we need to cut this to size. So you will need to measure from the inside of your bottom base up to, it doesn't have to actually go all the way to the top, but if you do it more or less to the top, depends if you've got enough wood or not. I think this is a little bit short to do it there, so I'll probably leave a little gap. But you've just got to go with what you've got. So I need 4 of them cut at that sort of length. Get my tape measure. So from the bottom of there to the top of that bit is 16 centimetres, more or less. This piece of wood here is 72, so that should be perfect. So if I do 16, 32, so I need 64. And then I'll cut that into 4 pieces for each corner. So again, I'll try not to make the video boring, but I'll put another time lapse on. Just get all that cut, and then I'll get back to you just before I make a start on the next process. Okay, so I've got my 4 corner supports cut to size. So next step is to just nail up your next level. So you can see where I'm going with this. So you'll do your next level as usual. Then you'll nail through more nails into these supports and go through from the bottom as well. Just to hold the 2 pieces together. So I'll try and set up a time lapse and I'll get that done and then I'll get back to you. So I have finished battling with them nails there. These nails are not much good really. Really bendy, and obviously these bits of wood here are quite thick, and they've got kind of like this knotty stuff. So it was a battle trying to get them in there. I think I bent 2 or 3 trying to get him in, but I got there eventually. So just keep at it. You have to take the nail out and start again. So be it. So I've just got to get this other side here done, and then this planter is complete. So I'll just get that done and then get back to you, and then I'll show you what I'm up to, what I'm going to do with the inside of it. Okay, so there's the planter finished, the first one. So I had a bit of a problem with these nails going into these thick bits of wood here, because it's a really tough bit of wood. Nailing through into there was a bit difficult, but got there eventually. So it may have been easy with screws there, but never mind. So that's the basic planter done. So next thing I'm going to do is give it a good old coat of paint, just to protect the wood a bit. Then I will line the inside, and I'm going to use old compost bags as they're perfect for lining the inside of planters. And that's what the staples and the staple gun are for, and the scissors. So I'll get that painted, and then I'll show you how I'm going to line it. So I've just painted this, and I did give it a quick sand down just to kind of round off the edges and get rid of any splintery bits. And I'll let it dry, and then I'll give it another quick coat of paint. So now what I'm going to do is use these compost bags, I never throw these away because they are perfect for this sort of thing. Because obviously they're designed to keep the soil inside and stuff, so they're perfect for lining planters. So all I'm going to do is put this in here around the edges, go up to the top, and we can trim it off later. I'm just going to use my staple gun and staple it into place. So I haven't drilled any holes in the bottom of this, by the way. I had this question last time. The reason I haven't bothered is because you can see how I've made it. There's plenty of gaps in between these and here for drainage, so there's really no need to drill holes. You can if you want to, but there's a strip, there's a crack all the way along there, there's gaps along the side there, so I really don't need to bother. Plants do fine in there, as long as the water doesn't stay in there, which it won't, because there's plenty of gaps and stuff for it to escape. So it's just a case of stapling this on here. I won't show you the whole thing, it'd be pretty boring, so that's the general idea. And we'll just trim that bit off, and hopefully it'll be enough for the other piece. And I'll cut off 2 little bits to do the side. So get that done and then get back to you. Okay, so I finished lining this now with the compost bags. Just staple that on and cut that to size. So the last thing to do, obviously, before you plant anything in there, you need to fill it up with some compost or soil. So I'm hoping it will take a whole bag of this, more or less. And again, I'll save the bags for the next project planter. One of these bags should be about perfect in here, so that's a 40-litre bag, so this plant is about 40 litres in. I'll just break up any bigger clumps of soil and any big clumps of compost. So I'll get this filled, then I'll build the other one, and I'll go back to you when I've finished. Okay, everyone, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video where we built these two planters. I just added that time lapse in the end there. I hope it wasn't too boring. I just wanted to show that it took me about 20 minutes from start to finish, including painting, because this paint dries within minutes, and lining and filling on compost. So they're really simple, really fast to make, and they look quite nice, I think. Obviously, um, once you get a bit better at doing the woodwork things, you can make them a bit more advanced. You can put some little feet underneath. You can decorate them, whatever really. But it's just to show you the process of making a really simple planter from start to finish. It takes about 20 minutes or so. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you will subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And any other questions, feel free to leave a comment. And don't forget to give the video the thumbs up. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Hope you all have a great week. See ya.